Hello everybody, it is time for another Bills baseball vlog. In this video today, I'm going to be talking about the upcoming series in London. Plus, I'm going to be talking about interesting developments with the Arizona Diamondbacks and why were we getting terrible calls at the plate 2 nights in a row. But I want to talk about, well, arguably the two hottest teams going in Major League Baseball right now, the Cincinnati Reds and the San Francisco Giants. The Cincinnati Reds, this is an unbelievable story. They've got Joey Votto, who's going to be coming back real soon, and here's this group of young guys. They brought up Cruz from the minors. They have won their last 11 games in a row. They are now in first place in the National League Central. Remember I said in the last video that division's going to be one to keep an eye on during the summer months. I still believe that because the Reds, who when the video was made last week was like third or fourth in their division, now are in first place in the National League Central. They have a 1.5 game lead over Milwaukee, 3.5 on the Cubs, 5 on Pittsburgh, 9 on the Cardinals. This is just a fascinating story to really come from out of nowhere to now have an 11 game win streak. You're in first place in a very winnable division. This is going to be a team that we're going to want to watch the rest of the summer. Let's see how they go. And not to be outdone, the San Francisco Giants, they're making moves. They are winners of their last 10 in a row. They were about third or fourth in the division before this streak started. They have a 10-game win streak, and they are 2.5 games out of first place behind Arizona. The Giants swept the Dodgers in Dodger Stadium over the weekend. This is just exciting baseball right now, especially if you're a Reds fan or a Giants fan. This is a fun time right now. You know, in the West especially, you had the Dodgers and you had the Padres. Those are like the two big teams. The Giants, you could say, are the number 3 team, at least when the season began. And then you got Arizona, who's been on a hot streak. They're in first place in the division. And now you got the Giants out of nowhere coming up into this position, 10 in a row, only 2.5 games out of first place. This is a fascinating win streak. Both win streaks are fascinating. So I'm going to ask you guys the question, and I want you to leave your comments in the comments section. Which winning streak is more impressive? The Reds' 11-game winning streak or the Giants' 10-game winning streak? I think they're both impressive, but I'm going to say the Giants are a little bit more impressive because of the division that they're in. Don't get me wrong, 11 in a row is impressive, but the Giants are just in a tougher division than the Reds are. This is a very impressive win streak, but I'm not taking anything away from the Reds. Winners of 11 in a row, first place in the National League Central. It is just fantastic to watch. Speaking of the Diamondbacks, reports have come out that Major League Baseball wants the Diamondbacks to start renovating their ballpark. Of course, this is the only ballpark that the Diamondbacks have ever played in. It's been open for 25 years. And unlike the Milwaukee Brewers, they have not threatened the Diamondbacks with relocating the team. I find that very intriguing, that you basically have the same problem Arizona has with Milwaukee, and you're not threatening them with relocating the team if they don't do it. I find that very, very interesting. And right now, Arizona's having one of the best seasons they've had in a long time. and for this to come up, we'll see what happens. I mean, I've heard they may build a new ballpark in Arizona. I really don't know. It's just going to be something, we're going to have to keep our eye on to see in the next couple of months. Well, this weekend in London, it's going to be 2 baseball games between the St. Louis Cardinals and the Chicago Cubs. They're going to be playing in London Stadium. This is not the first time the Major League Baseball has done this. A few years ago, it was the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees who played 2 games in London. This was originally, if I remember correctly, pardon me, this was originally going to happen in 2020, but of course, global pandemic, couldn't do it then, so got pushed back a few years. I mean, the rich history between the 2 teams does hold up the tradition of this rivalry, but you got a Cardinals team that's 13 games under 500. They're 9 back in the division. And the Cubs are a little bit better. They're just 2 games under 500. They're 3.5 back of first place. Although they did sweep the Pittsburgh Pirates. So the Cubs are in a much better position, I think, than St. Louis is at this time. But no, this will be a very interesting series to watch. Just for the aspect, that it's in England. They're trying to expand the international market. They've done very well in Japan. They've done very well in Mexico, Cuba, the Dominican Republic. It'd be interesting to see how it goes over in London this weekend. I probably will watch maybe one of the 2 games. Maybe I'll watch both. Who knows? But should be interesting to watch. Normally this would be the point where I do the standings, but I'm not going to do the standings today because I got to talk about the 2 calls at the plate. 2 nights in a row. 2 nights in a row we've had these calls. So Tuesday night, Rangers-White Sox game. You got a runner for Chicago. He's going home. The Rangers catcher catches the ball. He tags him out. However, it gets reviewed, and they say that, the catcher was blocking the plate, and they gave the run to the White Sox, and that's what won Chicago that game that night. You watch that video. The catcher is nowhere near blocking home plate. He's at the top of the plate, and he is at the top, but he's not really that far up. He's really not that far up. There's so much white that you could see that he could have been safe. He could have touched it. He didn't. He was tagged out, and then you have this terrible overruling that makes no sense, and it cost the Rangers a game. It cost the Rangers a game. Then, last night, during the Giants-Padres game, it's the same situation, but in a different way, because the runner, if you watch the video, when he's making the turn, he's so far out of where the line is that he doesn't even come in towards home plate, and the catcher just tags him out. And then they review that video, they overturn the call, and the Giants get another run, and the Giants would win that game 4-2. I mean, that's just bad calls 2 nights in a row. The first one is atrocious. Oh my God, that call is atrocious. He was not blocking that plate at all. The runner could have made it if he did, which unfortunately he didn't if you're a Giants or a White Sox fan. But, dude, he didn't block the plate. And then you look at the other one, you can make the argument to a degree that that catcher was, in the way, but the Giants runner was so far out when he did make the turn, and he didn't, get himself closer, to the line, that I don't get it. I really don't get it. It's 2 nights in a row we've had these calls. The Tuesday night call is the worst of the 2. The Wednesday call you could kind of make an argument, but at the same time, I just don't think you can say that, he was going to make home, he was going to touch home plate. I really don't think so, but that's just me. I'm just expressing my opinions, just wanted to say that. Well, that's going to do it for this video. Again, leave your comment in the comment section. Which winning streak do you think is more impressive, the Cincinnati Reds or the San Francisco Giants? Thank you all for watching this video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you want to watch more of my videos. And come back next time for another Bills Baseball vlog.